One of the top free agent targets for the Denver Broncos is now off the board. But before we talk about that, guys, I want to shout out the affiliate partner for today's video, Whitebeard Signworks. Use code BS30, link in the description below, to save $30 off your first purchase on NFL LED team logo signs, just like this really cool sign behind me. Again, that is code BS30, link in the description below, to save $30 off your first purchase from Whitebeard Signworks. Thank you so much to them. And now back to your regularly scheduled content. I saw a video from Mike Kliss on 9 News yesterday, and he said that if there is one position that the Denver Broncos might spend some big money in free agency on, it is off-ball linebacker. The Denver Broncos need to upgrade their linebacker room, and there are some good linebackers who are available in free agency. However, the top target and a guy who had ties to this Denver Broncos regime is now off the board. Bringing in this tweet from the Philadelphia Eagles, they have announced that they have re-signed Zack Baun to a 3-year deal worth $51 million. That is an average annual value of $17 million, and that makes Baun now the 4th highest paid linebacker in the NFL. A very lucrative contract for a guy who had a career year in Philadelphia. I gotta be honest, if this is what the market price for Zack Baun was, I am very glad that the Denver Broncos avoided this, because Baun had a career year in a Vic Fangio system that is notorious for being linebacker friendly. One thing you can say for Vic Fangio is that he always gets the best out of his linebackers, and he did that this year with Zack Baun, who signed a 1-year prove-it deal with the Philadelphia Eagles after spending his first 4 years in New Orleans with the Saints. Obviously, that was the connection there with this Broncos staff. Sean Payton was the Saints coach when he was drafted, and there's a lot of other staff members as well here in Denver that were there when Zack Baun was drafted to New Orleans. But not a lot of those staff members are actually on the defensive side of the ball. Remember, when Sean Payton was in New Orleans, Dennis Allen was basically the head coach of the defense. So there aren't a lot of members of that defensive staff here in Denver. The pipeline between New Orleans and Denver has been more offensive guys than defensive guys. When Baun was drafted by the Saints, he was drafted to play weak side linebacker, off-ball weak side linebacker in Dennis Allen's 4-3 zone coverage defense. Obviously, here in Denver, we run a base 3-4 under Vance Joseph, and we are one of the heaviest man coverage and blitz teams in the NFL. I don't know if going from a Vic Fangio zone coverage scheme to a Vance Joseph man coverage blitz happy scheme would have been the best thing for Zack Baun. I could just see Zack Baun getting burned in man coverage and Broncos country being ready to toast him. So I just don't think he made a whole lot of sense schematically for what the Denver Broncos like to do. He's not a great man coverage linebacker. He's more of a good zone coverage linebacker. So that's one reason. Obviously, at $17 million, man, that's just a lot of money that I would much rather have the Denver Broncos invest into other positions. There are still some good off-ball linebackers available in free agency. You've got your Jamien Sherwoods of the world from the New York Jets. That's probably my top target now with Zack Baun off the board. You've also got Nick Bolton of the Chiefs. I'm not as high on Bolton. Some reports coming out of Kansas City have indicated that the Chiefs are kind of ready to move on from Bolton. They think that he's lost a step athletically, and he's just not the same player that he once was due to injuries starting to stack up. So I'd probably avoid Nick Bolton if I'm the Broncos. Jamien Sherwood is the top target now that I would center on for the Denver Broncos to sign in the off-ball linebacker room now that Zack Baun is off the board. So I think the Broncos kind of dodged a bullet here. Baun was playing in a linebacker-friendly system behind arguably the best defensive front in the NFL. It wouldn't be that good of a situation here in Denver, even though we do have a good defensive front. I just don't think Zack Baun makes a whole lot of sense in a man coverage-heavy system like the Denver Broncos run. Alright guys, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell, and let me know in the comment section below, guys, how do you feel about the Denver Broncos not being able to have a chance to get Zack Baun? And until next time, Broncos country, I am your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.